Ebusuya, the vetting of Justice Baffoe Bonnie is ongoing. Na meeting asiye no, vetting committee meeting asiye no. Afenyo Markin, afa bibia critical. Wafa bibia walk up. Afenyo Markin ne tiny minority no. Afa bibia walk up we say omunti asiye ni how ne sanya Baffoe Bonnie. How do I say Baffoe Bonnie is being contested and I say it's being disputed. Say I say onye eligible. Say yebe pani say oye the Chief Justice of Ghana. Afenyo Markin say one tiasi ama enam so for the first time. And then Mahama Ayariga, the leader of the biggest majority. Etimi emachi Afenyo Markin boot for boot. Ama enam so Afenyo Markin and call for the ebufu are working out like they always do. Senior some time back, they walked out of Parliament. Edimri kako yoku premises kwatena form. Today, as you can see or say, minority rejects nomination of Justice Baffoe Bonnie as Chief Justice. Boycott vetting process. Boycott vetting process. Next, yam penny my nominating, yam penny cram my yam panel. Yeah, of course, you are nominating every, but they are saying say yam penny. MIN sans CSA or a Chief Justice. The question is, why are these people so bent on impeding the progress of this nation? Say, Ghanaians want to move forward. Okay? Ghanaians want to go forward. Afenyo Markin was yam penny, Emma Ghana for unko yenimu da. Sanya, ye delay Ghana for 8 years ago. 8 years, ye did delay Ghana for brabo. A wasting Ghana for life, for no. Say, Mampeni Mahama ba NDC yaba. Now say they want to better the situation to move the nation forward. I am penny Emma Ghana nkone name edit here. We are so retrogressive. We are so backward. We are so silly. We are so stupid. We are nation wreckers. We are nation backsetters. Just say ewie motumfo. Ebini motumfo. Adenya Baffoe Bonnie no I get through talk no kwan a ye fa so pamono no enye no Baffoe Bonnie onye qualified. These are the the grievances of Afenyo Markin and his squad. Now, before I move further to say anything, let us watch a very short clip for evidence sake. For evidence sake, let us watch a very short clip of Nana Ekoso in Parliament today. Afenyo Markin just said me see Niko Kwapai. The content creation sorry. Ne homo ba. Adenya mempene na sese no ni Ekoso no presidency be na ye seti den keka nkwasi asem. Hold on. Na mentwe video no mra. Hold on for a minute. My Wi-Fi is slightly misbehaving. Hold on for a minute. Na mentwe video no mra. Na Raja Gobo. Do yeah, do yeah. All right. Anyway. Machiaba yenti na serious so the AG Attorney General Mr. Dominic Ayine enso eche na dwen on sa Afenyo Markin behavior any sa nyoma na ekoso parliament no. Yeni ka yen share a very short clip of near a course between Mahama Ayariga and Afenyo Markin. Now fi say iria yakotie Attorney General so. Na me so kakra be waka no me de atoa mo so. Listen.
Unequivocally clear. The minority in Parliament object to and
Chairman, I object again. I object.
Hold on. Honorable particular point. I must place on record that I have admonished that we should all operate within the ambit of the law. Honorable Minority Leader, be guided by Order 103D, and then let's make progress. And Order 103D, if I may read, to serve as a guide to all of us. It states that a motion shall relate to a definite issue and not revive the consideration of a matter which had been considered in the same meeting unless new matters have arisen. Honourable members, by necessary implication, whether a motion or not, the principles of res judicata will not permit us that a matter that has been raised on the floor resolve to its finality would be permitted to be raised at a committee meeting. So, Honorable Minority Leader, refrain from anything that is relating to sub judice rules and let's make progress, with all due respect. Because Speaker has dealt with this matter, I have also personally dealt partly with this particular matter, with all due respect.
Chairman, the facts speak for themselves. On April 22nd, 2025, Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu was suspended as a result of a prima facie determination by the Council of State as contained in the public announcement made by the executive. We, the minority, hold the view that the subsequent committee that was set up under the chairmanship of His Lordship Gabriel Scott Puama to trial the Chief Justice amounted to a travesty of justice.
Chairman.
The removal
our rules are clearly offended.
In the language
our rules are
of
clearly
judicial
offended.
accountability.
Because the rules I just read clearly offended.
But
the rules clearly are offended. Chairman, the rules say that the conduct of the Speaker, the Chief Justice, members and justices of the Superior Court of Judicature shall not be raised in Parliament except on a substantive motion. He has just raised the question of the conduct of a Supreme Court judge who chaired the committee. And he describes it and the conduct and what the justice did as a travesty of justice. He has raised the conduct of that judge. He has. And the rules are clear. And I can assure you that I will not allow you to breach any inch of the rules today. No inch of the rules will I allow you to breach.
here, just a short version to give you an insight as to what went on in Parliament today. And I loved the composure of Justice Baffoe Bonnie. He didn't seem like disturbed, relaxed. I mean, because he is the law. Well, you have the right to do that. But you don't have the right to stop any legal process. That's the thing. You have the right to make noise, to walk out, to demonstrate, to do whatever you want to do. But you have no right to stop a legal process. And Afenyo Markin became so emotional, he began to use abusive words. Say, poor my committee, Justice na na odi anim justice for amino dien or say travesty of justice. This guy is now using grammar to insult a whole judge, a whole law. Na Mahama Ayariga tie mu a ose won tie ase de buofu. Efre e kan say saa ne nkwase afon prempene ba koi Jerry Ahmed was one why me omu ina di na chi adan we are working out of the vetting yemfoa so yempene so yemane nkoso. Meanwhile, on 27th of October 2025 these were the words of Afenyo Markin. Yebisa ne say eba se vetting okoso for a Baffoe Bonnie. Are you going to stage a walkout now? These were the words of Afenyo Markin. He said, and I read or say, Afenyo Markin once said, boycotting is out. We will not boycott it. Anybody who is expecting us to boycott, I say here and now, we will never boycott. These were the words of Afenyo Markin. Today, and the sona or title form on 27th October 2025 wasa fasante sono amene. He has gone against his own words. Minianum, let's be honest here. Can a nation deal with people like this? A whole leader in a parliamentary onye chese onye binded by the West. Or can asemene adie he will do something else. Can we entrust the safety, the peace, the stability, progress of this nation in the hands of these people? The answer is a clear no. Because Obia onye a man of his words, you can never ever trust that person. Say Obi can say mene na adie chia obusua, that person is not trustworthy. That person is not let me say honorable enough. That person is not man enough. In fact, the integrity of that person is below standard. And that is who Afenyo Markin is. Not to take too much of your time, because perhaps most of you are following the whole proceedings on social media and the mainstream media. Yentien Semonswa regarding the boycotting of Afenyo Markin and his small boys. Yentien Semonswa, the Attorney General, Dominic Ayine, Akanfa.
The minority leader could have made a general statement that the minority opposes the process and that they are, as a result of their opposition, either not participating, okay, or that they have questions to be posed to the nominee with respect to why this should be happening at this point in time. That is the context within which I think he should have situated his comments. But the approach that he used was basically to bring the motion that was dismissed by Mr. Speaker back on to the agenda of Parliament through this committee. And that was, to me, regrettable. And it was a sheer waste of time for the entire committee. You can imagine that we spent almost about 2 hours just on his preliminary comments. Right. And then also it doesn't show respect to the nominee. Okay, there are 3 branches of government. Most of the time, I want to say that there are 3 co-equal branches of government. We cannot bring the potential head of one of the branches of government to sit here and wait for us for 2 hours just to debate amongst ourselves, whether or not his vetting should proceed. So I think that is highly regrettable. But that is all I can say for now.
So whatever that happens, the affirmation will be done. The acting Chief Justice will be affirmed.
It will come down to a vote.
Right.
And if it comes down to a vote, we are on the side of the president's nominee. And we have the numbers to do so. We are not abusing our majority. We are basically asserting, our right to confirm the nominee that has been put forward by His Excellency the President.
What happens if there is a walkout from Parliament, from the minority side?
Well, we'll have to continue because the practice and convention of Parliament is that once a quorum has been formed, that quorum continues till the end. And so we have formed a quorum. In fact, the majority side alone has quorum to be able to conduct the business of the House. But given the fact that the minority has joined us, a quorum has been formed, and if they do walk out, we will continue the business to its logical conclusion.
Well, thank you for having us. So we're speaking to Dominic Ayine, that is the Attorney General.
The AG made it so simple. Or say it was a total waste of time. Sir Afenyo Markin, na ye titiato, na ye koba, ye mpene, na ye dede, na ye tietiem, na ye delay the whole process. Attorney General say it was a total and absolute waste of time. He said, after all, if they work out, whatever they choose to do, it will come down to voting. If they boycott the whole procedure, it will surely come back to the floor of Parliament. Then it will come back to voting, or for us to vote on. And as about voting, so we have the numbers on them. We are not trying to abuse our powers or whatever, but we are trying to exert our democratic privileges and rights, which is enshrined in the Constitution. Because the Biamika says NPP under Ekufuado, and a sa majority na NDC enya eneya. Kanyoma omudi be ye ne Ghana ha NDC mpuye too soft to tolerate all this nonsense. Kwasi asem na ye pusa ye ho alarm shake. Ya motom na ye koba kwasi asem adaya me ya Afenyo Markin. Once a opposition, we have to oppose everything. Mampeni John Dramani Mahama and nominate say, this is the person I want as Chief Justice. Who are you to stop it? The man has no criminal record. The man has no history of embezzlement. In fact, this man went to the Supreme Court during J.A. Kufuor's time. Not under the NDC. NTMPO say, Moa ebia some of you mo ye nya adwumbe se making Mahama na epia no call ho a enya Mahama this same Afenyo Markin ni kwasiafo ya nti ede na change se na sabi o Baffoe Bonnie enya qualified bisa wo se ede na kofo pia no call nyansa be ni wo kwasiasem ejimisem all they want to do is to delay the process. They want to sabotage Mahama's government, but emfa Senate bia once our NDC what numbers in Parliament about voting more lose here. So there is nothing to fight. There is nothing to stop. Everything will move on as planned. And there is nothing you the NPP minority, you Afenyo Markin and your Jerry Amedo. So I'm because ufrija to no kwasi. Jerry Amedi ufrija tono is the one prempe because there is nothing any of you can do to stop the process. On this note, no, the American say I wish Justice Baffoe Bonnie the very best of luck, because I know for sure say he is already the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Aha! And medem will be meeting early chairman Freemind. Enjoy the rest of your time, and I'll see you in my next video. Makram.